fabulous partners, TikTok. This panel will introduce to you 5 incredible TikTok creators from around the world who will be sharing their perspectives of building captive audiences and their learnings of how to authentically incorporate sustainability into their content. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please put your hands together and welcome up our TikTokers.
Hello. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our panel. We're so excited to be here. And this is how to inspire climate action through authenticity on TikTok. Today, we really want to talk to you about why we're here and really get you to know these great creators that we brought with us from all over the world. But to take a step back, I'm Brett, and I lead our global TikTok for Good program, which refers to our efforts to amplify and accelerate social impact content on the platform. So the team and I put together different content strategies and kind of building tentpole moments around cause areas like sustainability, mental health, economic empowerment, and DE&I. And so it's really special that we're here today for COP28. Just yesterday, we launched our 3rd round of our climate action campaign, which now has 2.6 billion video views worldwide, and really shows, give it up for that. And what we love so much about this content program around climate action is just the diversity of creators who participate in it, whether they are from educational categories, climate scientists, community activists, but also lifestyle creators, food creators, fashion creators, beauty creators. Everyone's really kind of finding their way to participate in this moment. And so, we're super excited to be able to launch that. So definitely go on TikTok, look at climate action, and you'll see people creating that content in real time. So why we're here. Today we really want to talk to you about why and how to use TikTok to really grow your audience and to make connections with people from all around the world, to discuss sustainability, to discuss climate action, and to really show you that it's not that scary to be a part of our community. And we're going to hear from these great creators who are going to tell you about their experiences and how they built community. And so before I pass it to Donia, I just wanted to remind everyone, if you have any questions, you can go to Slido and ask them there, and then we'll source them from that QR code, which hopefully is coming up here soon. Okay, with that, I'll pass it over to Donia.
Amazing. Oh, wow. You guys can hear me very well. So hi, everyone. My name is Donia. I'm the Education Partnership Manager at TikTok, and I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Brett, for the lovely introduction. So in the region, sustainability has been hugely discussed, and it's so refreshing to see. It has become a part of the content narrative of an abundant amount of creators all across the world. And not just discussing the topic of sustainability and climate change, but taking solid actions towards making a difference. And in the MENA region specifically, on TikTok, we fostered a community under #ClimateAction and #LearnOnTikTok, which is something where creators have come together calling for change. And what I love about this topic is that you don't need to be an expert on sustainability. You don't need to be an expert on climate change. You just need to be passionate and want to diversify your content. So let's take a few examples. A top creator called Art by Najea, who's an artist who does DIY recycling hacks. PH Lutfi, a doctor who talks about the effect of sun radiation, which is happening to us right now, and the effect on the skin. And then you have Saif al-Dahab, who captures moments and landscapes and shows the urgency of the issue. So conversations can start from anywhere. And this is why climate literacy is so important and why we encourage it on TikTok. COP28 brings the international community from all across the world together. In the UAE, they've contributed to practical solutions to solve this global problem that honestly affects us all. COP28 launched #Actionism, seeking actionists across the world who want change. Being here today is a chance for all of us to network, get to know each other, drive forward positive conversations, solutions, and learn from one another. And now, for the most exciting part, I'd love to introduce our amazing panelists. I'm going to start off with Hisham Bashan, who is a top food creator who is not only creative, but shares an unbelievable passion for food and is unscared of change. We have Sully, who is a top education creator, who is an advocate for real change. We have Destiny Ray, who is a top beauty creator that really creates a safe space and expresses herself through hair and makeup. And finally, we have the beautiful Bia, who is also a top food creator who shares her passion about cooking and gastronomy. So, Brett, why don't you take it off?
Yeah, absolutely. Can we get a round of applause for them first, though?
Woo!
Okay, so the first question I have for everyone, we can just kind of go down the line. Hisham, you can start. The first question is, how did you start to build an audience on TikTok? How did you get started?
There is three ways I've used to do that. First of all, I treat everyone like they are my customers. So I have to welcome them to my page, feel them that they are communicating with their brothers. So giving this emotional chats with them while they are commenting on my profile. Other thing is collabing with the other content creator. It brings a lot actually, especially if they are outside your region. It will get you well known. Other than that, also there is the content itself. It has to be very authentic. Give you that touch and that feel that I did something that you know, and you already did it at your home, or your father did it, or your mother did it. So this authentic content, it will help a lot to touch the audience and give them a warm welcome to your page. Yes.
I love that.
How about you, Sally?
Pretty inspiring answer, actually, yes. You have to be real when you do a video. You might see my mustache. It might be real, it might be not. But what is actually 100% real is the message that we send to our followers. When we talk about mental health issues, when we talk about family troubles, and also when we talk about climate change infodemic, we are 100% real. And that gives the audience the confidence that when they see one of your videos, they know that they can rely on you. And that makes a personal bonding that even when you don't know each other like face to face, they know that they can count on you, that you're going to talk about with the truth, because you're being real.
I think building trust, that trustworthiness is
That's
really
the foundational stone of our channel.
Absolutely.
Yes.
How about you, Destiny?
So I started off, I feel like I need to give a little bit of a backstory. I started creating content because I felt like there was something I needed to bring. I cut all my hair off because I didn't know how to manage it. And when I did that, I decided that I could teach people how to do their natural hair. And so before I even started making content, I knew that's what I wanted to bring to the platform. So it was just like about finding my purpose. And I feel like if you guys are wanting to create content, that's something you need to start with. And then just bringing that to the platform. And like everyone said, you need to make sure you're bringing that as authentic as you can. Like, look at me. My hair is usually out. I wasn't sure about the climate, but it took so much for me to be able to wear my hair like that and be confident, and I just wanted to bring like that representation. And TikTok is such an easy platform to do that on, because like I started with just my iPhone, and my dad made like a box and like books to like make a tripod, and I started my journey from there. So like anyone could do it.
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
Honestly, it needs a round of applause as well.
How about you, Bia?
Yeah.
Hi. And I started making videos back in 2019, right after graduation. I began recording about makeup, art, but in 2020, I decided to try something new and start cooking. Even though I knew nothing about it, I realized that the videos about cooking started attracting a lot of people who doesn't love food, right? And I started reproducing recipes every day, and even though it didn't coming out as planned most of the time, I didn't give up. I persisted, and that is how I learned to cook. Since then, I get with a public and that enjoy both my daily routine and the recipes that I make.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bia.
All right, and Bia, I just actually want to follow up with that. So what sets apart your experience on TikTok from other platforms?
So TikTok changed my direction of my life suddenly because it was where my talents were discovered. So which motivated me to learn cooking. It helped me to find out about my passion. So I am thankful to God and to TikTok for all the unique opportunities that I received and for bringing me here today.
I love that. I think when you're really looking at the content, you get so inspired. And once you start creating it, you also get a feel for what you're truly passionate about. So it's beautiful that you discovered that.
Thank you.
And now for Destiny. What is something you've learned about your content strategy, either through success or through failure?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's a,
No, that's a
took
good
some
one.
time coming up with this one.
I have experienced a lot of failure when it comes to creating content. I feel like any content creator does. What I've noticed is that when you try to follow trends and just like keep up with what people are doing, you will get lost in that. And if you're thinking about numbers as well, you're gonna lose sight of what you came to the platform to do. So I think for me, one thing I really realized was I need to understand why I'm posting, and I need to post content that I'm proud of, not just posting content to post content or posting content that I think is gonna get views. Like, you need to know what you're going on the app for. You need to know what you want to bring to the app. And once you do that, and you do it as you, and you don't do it as trying to be someone else or trying to put yourself out there in a way that you think people will like, that's when you'll see success. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Such a good insight.
it's such a good insight, and I think having that growth mindset and you personally choosing what you want your success to be.
Right.
So you're happy in that and in your amazing content, and I think everything always changes and develops, and you're adapting the way you want to. And I love that you brought up authenticity because I see it when you speak. So it's something so important as well.
Yeah. No, I always, when I talk to folks about trends, I always say to them that if you can't figure out how you participate in that trend within like 5 minutes, move on.
Right.
Like, the more that you try to like force yourself to enter that trend, the less authentic it becomes. And you should stick to what's going to make the most sense for you. Okay, awesome. So I want to talk a little bit around like different perceptions that exist around conscious creators and really kind of fears of being perceived as greenwashing or not really having the climate conversation be accessible to them. A recent study released by Unilever showed that 84% of creators have at least one barrier to talking more about sustainability. And so, Solly, I wanted to ask you, how can we as a platform and we really as a movement create an environment for welcoming topics like sustainability to creators?
Well, when you talk about really, really serious topics like this, first of all, you have to be dynamic. Like, if you start talking like serious and slow, people are gonna be like, yeah, next.
Yes.
I don't mind. Even when you have a powerful message, even when you have something to say, if you don't say it with a dynamic way, you're losing the battle. So, first of all, being dynamic. But it's also very, very important to be responsible with what you're saying. Because you can say like, oh, I'm going to talk about whatever I'm thinking about. You have to do also fact checking, and you have to be fast. Don't as you were saying, don't post for just being posting in the platform. You have to be responsible with what you're saying, and yeah, I think that that's the main key to enter into talking about sustainability, because it's to make it fun, to have imagination, but also to be responsible with what you're saying.
Absolutely.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you wanted to expand on it because you were also agreeing.
Yeah, no, I totally agree about what he's saying. When you want to talk about something, you have to be very honest about it, not just to spill it out. You need to have an honest opinion about it. And he was talking about saying that dynamically, and which is true. Many people saying, I'm saying that message, but nobody respond, nobody get it. He's a science or he is expert in his field, but nobody get it because he's not saying that things dynamically. You need to say it properly so the message gets in their mind. Not in a serious way. It has to be in a fun way, fast way. It gets in your mind. So this is why I was proving his point and give him a thumbs up.
Yeah, I love that. Because, yeah, you wanted to say
If I can say something
Of course.
else, you also have to be coherent and have congruency. Because you can say in one video, hey, don't do this, don't do that, and in the next video, when you're working with a brand, you start doing exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
This is like part of the business, and there are some times that we've had to say, we can't work with you because it goes against our message. I don't believe in your brand, so I can take it. It's a good money, but not the money for us. It goes against my message. So it's
have
about
to clap for
principles
this,
too.
by the way.
Yeah, we do. And it talks about the responsibility point that you brought about earlier. And I think with content, so sometimes you might have, a complex topic that you'd like to break down in your video. So we always say the first 5 seconds is so important and that you should really film with an objective. So why are you doing this? What's the message that you want to get across? And that's where you really capture your audience. So this is something amazing that you also addressed. And in terms of Hisham, I'm going to ask you another follow-up question. You're right next to me, so I feel like I'm going to ask you everything. So have you noticed any challenges about sustainability content or, how sustainability is incorporated, anything we have to watch out for, or maybe some good things you want to, shine light on?
Well, for me, I will talk about my sector, which is the food. While creating a food content, people, when want to talk about this matter, they always think about the leftovers, يعني this is the casual things will come in your mind,
Yeah,
leftovers.
I'm guilty of that.
But there is
Like
another
that.
way to do this, while you have a full access of the item that you have it between your hands. For example, if I want to make a content about the chicken, I have to give you all the secrets that you can have it with the chicken. For example, how you can make the best broth from just the bones, how you can make a different kind of recipes from around the world, or how you can make an easy recipe to use that chicken. When you have all the information and the secret about the item itself, here where it's come how you save this product and use it properly, not just about the leftovers. Giving all the secrets for this item, it will help you out. Yes.
Yeah.
This is what I think of.
Something that I also like to always talk to people about is that the more specific you can be, the wider audience you're going to find. So like the more that you can kind of go that deeper dive, right? And I think, a lot of times when we think about like things that people have a overall perception of, but you're kind of flipping it on its head and showing it from a different perspective,
Yes.
right?
One time I did this video of how we do, how we use the watermelon. I used it as a meat. I used it as a pot. I used it as a juice and as an ice cream. I did many examples how we use the watermelon. So when you have more knowledge about the item that you have, you can, it will help you on that matter a lot. The more deep you go. And also I've seen people get curious to know more. They love this kind of ideas.
Yeah, it's important to spark that intrigue,
Yes.
right?
May I say something?
Please.
He's an expert on food, right? And he knows the exact way of how to do a lot of things with watermelons. A lot of you are the experts on climate change. Yeah, I'm a lawyer. I'm a ex-financial lawyer. But who has the information, the right information to get to the people is you, right? I would suggest don't play by the book. Don't try to give the message that people tend to get that you find the people with your same interest, and it starts to build upon what you're saying and what they are, their opinions, and it makes a community.
Yes,
It's
absolutely.
really good.
Absolutely.
And I think one thing, just before we jump to the next question, which was something you brought up, Hisham, sometimes you might not be realizing that you're actually watching sustainability content. So, like he said with the watermelon, like I thought, I'm watching a cooking recipe that's never going to work with me because it shouldn't be allowed in the kitchen. But other than that, you wouldn't realize that, oh, wait, this is a way for me to, save food. So I love how it's incorporated. And if you realize the creators are so, diverse with everything. I also see another creator, Dr. Jana Burislan, who talks about, self-improvement and really self-development, mental health awareness, and she's talked about sustainability as well and climate change, so it's something nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, next question for Bia. I wanted to ask, what is one thing that you've learned from being at COP28 so far?
So I understood how essential this event is. Essential not only for the leaders and of the nations, but to every single person. And as the influence, I learned that even cooking, I can make a difference to the environment.
Nice. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think we need to go to the kitchen after this panel. So just to sum it up with kind of the last question, it's a one for all. So I'm going to go this time this way with the question. So Bia, I'll start off with you. But have you ever created sustainability content, or is this something you aim to do, in the near future after being here today and everything?
So regarding my content, I use it to include sustainability and indirectly. But from now, I decided to be a lot more intentional about it because food waste plays a big role on climate change. I learned that organic waste produce methane, which influence global warming directly. Therefore, my goal is to, through TikTok, make people aware of food waste and help them understand how small change can have a hug impact on the world.
Yes. I love that. And what about you, Destiny?
I feel like I've definitely shown through my content like sustainability, but I don't think I ever made the conscious effort to bring that message to my platform. And I feel like being here and being with so many people that are educated on this, like I'm definitely going to bring it to my platform now and share everything I've learned. Like now I'm definitely going to be making a conscious effort to share that. I have to.
Nice.
We're here.
Yes, for sure. And what about you, Sally?
My motto in all my videos are that every video is something that in every video, I like to express something that I would like to teach to my kids. So
beautiful.
that's the objective, and to, I think, every other kid that might need that message.
Yes.
So if I can say something a little bit beyond, there's this idea that TikTok is for young people, because you see dances and you see jokes. Yes, but I think that TikTok is for everyone who has a message to give. And that I think there's not an age to say, oh no, you're very old to talk about anything. I think that we all have the age to not only change our lives, but to change someone else's life. Maybe the message that people out there is looking for, it's the word that you're not saying. And I urge you to start including into the conversation.
Love it.
I know, I'm like tearing up. I was not given a heads up. Hisham?
I'm already doing a series about this, where how we can use the best of any products. Now I'm doing a series of how we use the egg.
Okay.
So many ideas how you can build the recipes with the eggs, and how you can do a recipes or ideas in the kitchen, how do you use the eggs. So till now I did like 20 episodes, and after I finish this series I will go to another items. For example, I did already with the watermelon, as what I said.
Yeah.
With the watermelon I did how we make a fries out of watermelon, how we use the watermelon as a pot, things like that. So now my new content will focus on how we get the best of any food item in the fridge or in the kitchen. Now the egg, next time it will be the fries, the potato. After the potato, I go to somewhere else. So the more knowledge you have about the food, you will have access to preserve that food in your kitchen.
Exactly. And I have a follow-up question on this one. How do you come up with the ideas? Like, for example, the different methods of cooking an egg. I'm so curious.
Well, I get inspired by, usually I log into TikTok. I use the search engine. It's beautiful engine.
Ah, nice.
One of the best. I always say that I'm a very old content creator. I'm one of the oldest in my field. I said to myself like 7 years ago, the best apps or the best platform that's gonna come up and help the content creators or people to enjoy their time is who have the best engine, search engine. So this is what TikTok provide. Good engine. When you write any word, for example, I just write eggs, I see tons of ideas and contents, and from that, I get an idea.
Nice.
From that, just try it one time. If you wanna learn about anything, just try it. For example, decoration, food, water idea, anything you write, you will see crazy things comes up with you. So the search engine helped me out a lot, and I love it. Now it's one of the main engines that I'm using for searching about any contents and get inspired by others.
Nice. And Destiny, I saw you nodding as well. Is that where you get your ideas?
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't even
You're like,
think
yeah.
I use Google as much anymore. Like, I just go straight to TikTok, show me a video tutorial on how to do something, you know?
Have you ever tried out a tutorial and it really just didn't work, and then you had to find your own spin on it?
Like, you guys are into cooking. I tried it. It's not for me. I gave myself food poisoning. So, yes, there is times where, like, it doesn't work, but it's there. It's there.
But I think these are really good insights that show that TikTok, which I think a lot of people think it's about repetition, but it's actually about iteration, right?
Nice.
It's about like seeing what you can see on the platform and then making it your own.
Yes.
And so the fact that you've been inspired by what you were searching for, now it creates an entire series, like that's so beautiful. And I think just goes to show that like anyone can participate if they spend time to understand what people are talking about on the platform.
Yes, yes.
And the content is there. You just need to take that first, initiative to really just seek out what you want to learn about, and it's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there.
Amazing. So do you want to show a few examples?
No, I think we're going to move to questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So I don't know if you guys got the chance to log into Slido.
Slido, yeah.
I think, yeah, there you go. You have
Any
the QR
questions?
code and you can ask us anything you want.
In Mexico, we say like, pregúntame, pregúntame. Ask us with confidence. We're ready to answer you.
We've just started our TikTok account. As an NGO, what are your top tips to grow our following?
I think maybe I can take this one. I'd love to also hear your thoughts.
For sure.
So I think the first thing you need to understand is that, like, however much success or audience you've built on other platforms, you should approach TikTok a new world. And you should assume that no one has even heard of your organization before. So really take a moment to think about less so what are the programs or initiatives that you are running, and more, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Every nonprofit exists because at some point in time, a group of individuals came together and said, there's an issue happening here that isn't being solved on its own. How can we creatively problem solve this issue together? And so really taking that step back to explain to the community about what that issue is, and then how they can get involved to help rectify that issue. Really thinking about coming at it from an educational lens, and really thinking about that value proposition of less so of what can you get out of the platform, and more so of what can you contribute to the platform. How can you build audiences that expect to be enriched, to be educated through seeing your content?
Yes, that was perfectly said. And to add a little bit to it, I think what I also really love, so you said something very important, which is filming with a purpose. What do you want to contribute? But also don't be afraid to really just go ahead and experiment, because what's beautiful about TikTok is the discoverability aspect. So followers and video views, they're not really related. You could have, 1,000 followers and your video views could reach 2 million, 3 million. It really just depends on, how is the audience reacting to it, how is it engaging. And like Destiny mentioned also, not to fixate really on just the numbers, but what you're passionate about, and the numbers will always follow, because you will find that niche that's like, wow, okay, they're finally talking about this, and they'll ask you questions, and there are so many ways you could really get your point across. So
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is just also.
Yeah, I think it's really about positioning your content as, how is this nutrient-rich content? How is this thought-provoking, perception-changing, myth-busting, mind-blowing, surprising? And that's the thing, is all the work that all nonprofits do have an element of that, right? And so I think just really thinking about that and thinking about how you're going to position that to your audience is really important.
Being on TikTok and so well known can open yourself to criticism when speaking on climate. Do you get worried, or where do you find the courage to address this?
I think let's give that one to Sully.
Uy.
Channel in your law mode.
I think that there's always all types of people on the internet, and there are people that have their own problems, and they have frustrations, and they find ways to expel out all the poison that they have in their minds. At least personally, there was a time that kind of poison really affected myself personally, to the point that I was saying, I don't want to do any more content. Don't you feel ridiculous with that mustache? For your age, don't you feel like you should be doing something else? And yes, I thought no, this is not for me anymore. And those were really hard times. But it's all again to coming back to what do you want to do, and having clear objectives. And always having check on your mental health. If you're doing content or whatever you're doing in life, take care of your mental health. That's a must do.
I love that.
Totally agree with him. And also, we always taught ourselves, everyone been through this. We always teach ourselves that anyone who's going to attack you is because he's jealous of you. we see that as a jealous, and he's empowering me even more, because when I see people attacking any one of my viral videos, it's because it's going viral. He's so jealous about it. So this is how I see it. So by seeing in that way, it will give me the power just to ignore it and feel happy about it. Now I'm very thirsty to see more of these comments. It's give me more courage to do more and more. Yes.
I think also you guys brought up something so important, and that's your self growth and I loved what you said about protecting your mental health space. And I think on TikTok as well you have beautiful features that you could also use. You could filter comments. There are so many ways as well for you to protect that safe space that you want to create.
There's also a tool like Sidecar for your children.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're under 13, you shouldn't be on TikTok.
Nice.
I see
Family
some
care.
kids here. Please don't open TikTok until you're 13, boy. But once they are 13, they can have a safe experience on TikTok. And it's not like TikTok is going to show you any kind of inappropriate content, but it has some topics that are not suitable for kids. And these kind of tools help me to be more sure that my kid, he's 15 years old, is going to see content that it's good for his age. And that those kind of tools, I don't like that parenting controls, because as soon as you tell a teenager, you have to use the parenting control, he's going to be like, why do you think that you can control me if I'm already almost an adult? So these kind of tools, I think that simplifies the relationship at least with my children.
Yeah, that's our family pairing tool that is becoming more and more popular.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
That's good.
Do you think there is appetite for sustainability creators alone, or do you think it should be incorporated into most creators' existing content?
Can I take this?
Yes, please.
No, but first I wanted to hear from the panelists what do you guys think about this in general?
Can she say it again?
So do you think that sustainability content, there's an appetite for this type of content, or should creators incorporate it into their own narratives?
As what Soli said in the beginning, if you say it in a dynamic way, any subject, you do it in a dynamic way, in a good way, it will be something to watch and give it a shot to be a fan of that page. You just have to do a proper content about it, and you have to appear that content in a very good way, nice way to hear it, to look at it. Any content, any kind of content, for me, I believe it will be successful if we did it right.
100%. And really diversifying content is something that gives that awe element to the audience. Like, oh, wait, somebody's talking about photography, or, usually I learn X from him, and then suddenly he's talking about, climate change, but he's putting a entertaining quality and spin on it, which is always nice to see. But I do also believe that there is an appetite for just purely sustainability content, because there is that niche wherever you go on TikTok.
Yeah, I would say the piece there that's so important, though, is to have that selfish value proposition. And so rather than positioning it as this is how you're going to help save the planet, this is more, this is how you can save time, this is how you can save money, this is how you can save resources, right? You have to kind of position it a bit so that the audience member understands what it means for themselves and then understands what that means for the broader world.
100%. And there are so many different formats that you guys could use. I'm going to get right to you. There's the green screen, so you guys could showcase, for example, behind you something going on. There's different tools in the app that make your life easier when you're trying to diversify your content or talk about it. Even simple tutorials, like let's say you were giving a beauty or hair tutorial, etc., and just incorporating small elements, it really makes it more engaging. Sally, please go ahead.
This topic, it really excites me.
Yeah.
Don't patronize your followers. Your followers know a lot of things. For example, we did a lot of full series of sustainability and about climate change. Those videos that we talk about, you should do this action to help the environment. We received a backlash. Like, come on, dude, I'm doing my best. I can do more. But when you talk about the most specific things that you would say that this is gonna flop, about like, for example, corporate accountability, like Coca-Cola is telling me here, recycle this bottle. And then why now it's my responsibility? What is doing Coca-Cola for recycling all this trash? Why to give the responsibility to the final user? And that video blew like, yeah, like what is the corporations doing and in this all this matter? The most specific topics that you could imagine in what you are specialized, it has a place on TikTok.
It is. It is. I saw, and also another subject. Do you like math?
Oh no.
Okay, same,
My
same. I
husband's
don't.
right there, and he's like, no.
Yeah, yeah.
Does not like math.
Me also. I don't like math. I saw this lady who who's doing a content about how you do a nice. يعني how do you learn math? She did it in a very nice way. She had this paper with her pencil. She have very nice handwriting.
Yeah.
She put some music and she start talking in a nice way. It's like teaching you like you are a baby. So these kind of contents regarding your question, like what I've said in the beginning, if I did it in a dynamic way, in a nice way, people will enjoy it even more than the regular subject that we know.
100%. There's Uzma Rahal. She has above 9 million followers now. And what she does is she does drawing tutorials, but she does it in a way where, let's say you draw the number 2 and then the number 2 again, and then suddenly it's a mouse or whichever. And it's easily replicated. So she broke down, breaking down the masterpiece of creating art. And it was personal to her. So I think just going back to what you were saying, I think when you're giving a recommendation or whichever, if it comes from your heart and you practice it yourself and you just want to share that knowledge, I think it would be warmly accepted. Destiny, do you want to add something?
I was just agreeing.
Oh.
Awesome.
Great.
How do you decide what brands you want to partner with? Do you think about the brand's social and environmental impact before working with them?
Ooh.
Ooh, who wants to take this one?
Okay.
I feel like you have to. Like, there's a lot of fast fashion brands, like, once you get into the fashion space, that will try to approach you. But if that's not what you're wanting to push, then you have to stand on that. You can't look at the money and think, okay, maybe like I want to lean towards this way. Just stay true to your values, like stand on your morals, and like there's always going to be brands that are going to come to you. You don't have to take every deal. I think it's more important to stand on your morals.
Yes, it happened to all of us. I recently, if I'm gonna talk recently, yes, I've declared many companies that against my morals, and I did this already from the most time that I needed the money to keep myself in the field. But God is there, His eyes on us. He see what we are doing. When we have a morals, He will push us to have something better in the future. We've seen this. I've been there. I've declared many things while I really needed the money, but at the end, the goods will stay for the end. Yes.
Absolutely.
When we were starting working with brands, I've never thought about like I would like with this brand or I wouldn't work with this brand. Until my son, my teenager, asked me, why the alcohol companies try to make the alcohol so appealing when you get alcoholic, it ruins your whole life. And I was like, it's very true. It's very true. They have like very engaging advertising. And in that moment, I were like, I would never work doing an advertised campaign for alcohol. I don't drink, and I wouldn't motivate to a youngster to drink. And there were like, if my ethics don't go with it, even if alcohol companies pay good money, very good money. But I were like, I wouldn't work with that, never, because I wouldn't tell my son, drink this. I wouldn't tell other youngsters to do that.
Yeah,
That's
no,
good.
I think it's seeing the forest for the trees and not taking an immediate win win, right? But then if you actually take the time to really build out like who are the brands you do want to work with, right? It's going to just help increase that connection and trustworthiness that you are building with your audience.
Yes, we were talking about that from all this
Yeah,
panel.
absolutely.
We got last question here. How has being at COP28 inspired you, and have you met any climate heroes here, and who are they?
I feel like that's a hard one. Like, I'm not going to answer for everyone else, but for myself, just because like today is our first day here. We're obviously so excited for the rest of the days because we get to like relax and really just like take everything in and learn. But I feel like we are all preparing for this panel. This was our main focus today, and we didn't get the chance to really like go around and really have that experience yet, but I feel like if you asked us at the end, like we would have a lot to give to you. But you'll see it like on our content, like we're definitely going to be pushing this now.
Exactly. I think it's a good plug to follow all of them,
Yes.
and you'll get the answer to that question.
But I totally agree with her. But at the last part, yes, I guess we have more courage to do more sensibility content after we get back to our home.
Yeah, and I, for one, am so inspired because, I showed up here today and I just realized what a huge community it is and how many people are here and everybody shares this interest and wants to help and wants to have these conversations. So it's really beautiful to see, like, no matter where you come from, everyone is here and there's so many different and fun activities to do here. I saw you guys and I was low-key a bit jealous. I want to go back there, but they made their own, like, plant and they took the soil home, and I think it's such a beautiful initiative, and it's I think a 15-minute activity, but you really take a lot from it, of just how simple it could be. So we're gonna go there after the panel.
Okay, amazing. Well, thank you so much for having us. Thank you to our amazing creators for coming all the way here.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and a huge thank you to you all. You guys have been amazing.